This is the worst book in the history of poetry. Now, you might be thinking, well, come on, Frank O'Hara, he's pretty good. Why are you ripping on Frank O'Hara? Well, I'm not really ripping on Frank O'Hara. I'm actually ripping on Donald Allen for making the worst collected poems ever. Well, probably not ever, but still, it's pretty bad. This thing, let me tell you why it's bad, okay? Here you go. You got, boom, right there. Editor's note. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see what the editor thinks. That's cool. Not really. I mean, you know, it's cool. It's kind of just very plain. You know, I mean, editor's note's real small, and the text just goes. There's no style to it. It's just fucking boring. But then you also have then the introduction. And if you read the editor's note, you can find out that the introduction's written by John Ashbery, and not Donald Allen. See, there it says John Ashbery. You got to read the whole thing to figure out who wrote it. Isn't that kind of stupid? I think that's kind of dumb, right? And then you got the introduction. It's nice. It's a solid introduction. It kind of gives a good summation of O'Hara from a poet that knew O'Hara but wasn't Donald Allen, who put the whole collected poems together. So it's kind of good to get another source, another opinion about Frank O'Hara in there. So that's kind of cool. Then you got a short chronology. Okay, this is kind of cool, and it's used in collected poems a lot. So I'm not really going to diss the chronology, but if you use the chronology here, it only really works if you have the poems listed, chapter or not chapter, but chapbook or by book, or by the date. You know, like if this is a period of the book that's, you know, covers O'Hara's work from 50 to 56, then put it in there, and the chronology will make sense. We'll be like, oh, hey, he didn't get hit by the truck and die. You know, this is earlier than that. So, you know, something like that. We can make some kind of statement about his biography, like where he was in his life, and the poems, you know, and especially since O'Hara, you know, wrote his poems like he lived his life, and he didn't try to exaggerate a lot. So he says anyway, but he doesn't try to exaggerate, and he tries to be pretty basic, which is good. I commend him for that. But you know, be able to put him in, you know, where he was. Was he in school? Was he raised in school? You know. So we got this chronology, puts his whole life out, where he's born, all that stuff. It's pretty big. I mean, it's detailed. I mean, this is 4 pages. And then you get the contents. Okay, the contents, this is kind of nice, but alright. You put the introduction and the short chronology in the table of contents, but the editor's note isn't listed, and we already read through these. We know where they are. The object of a table of contents, I would think, is to be able to find things that you haven't been to. You know, like if I pass a page in the book, then I already know that this poem is on that page. You know, the table of contents then is just good as a point of reference. But I literally just turn the pages in the book, and I'm seeing things I just saw, and it's like, yeah, I know they're there. Fuck, I just opened the book. That's where they are. So anyway, you got the table of contents, and there's no change really, you know, and it's just all fucking boring. There's just no variation in the font. It's just such a boring thing to look at. I mean, I'm not saying a book has to be pretty and it has to be flamboyant with its text, but God, like, put contents in bold. Just fucking put it in bold for something, just some variation.